Good, how y'all doing?
Good.
It's a little disappointing in the cup game. Wow.
Still crazy.
Money here, man.
Some people are consistent.
All business.
We good? All right, questions for Coach Atkins? Preferably on the left side, since that's where the microphone is. No? All right. We'll start with Chris here in the front row.
You've talked previously about having 8 linemen you can win games with, that you feel really good about. Obviously, they all show up on the depth chart. Can you just talk about what that group did in preseason, how you feel about it, and how you're going to lean into the depth?
Well, yeah, you know, we got some experiencing guys that put in a lot of time and reps, but also their understanding of the little nuances that you might can't show in practice, something that might come up in a scheme. They've showed the ability to kind of process that information, execute it. Now, not to discredit the young guys, they just have to. They don't have the rep count yet, which is a benefit for them. When I talked to Rob and Darius and all those guys and Mo, they said, man, we wish we had a group like us when we got here to be able to, you know, not put our bodies in tough situations before they're built to withstand the game. So I think those guys, you know, they've been through it. They've become a lot closer. And, you know, so I believe in their ability to not only respond if something happens, but also to adapt and improvise if there's something out there that we haven't showed them or been able to rep quite a few times.
We'll stay here for Brendan.
Even without Mason Smith, what challenges based on game prep and film does LSU's defensive front provide you guys?
I think Coach Downer does a good job of really block the structure. You know, they get blocked, but they don't stay blocked. They understand leverage. They know how to attack schemes first. Like if they're getting a base block, they know how to play that. If they get reach block, they know how to counter that. And they also know how to counter that uncanny way of just not staying. They understand the leverage of the defense, and they understand where they can go to go win and make tackles. They're a lot of D-line to play and make plays, and not just kind of clog holes, which, you know, presents a unique challenge.
We're good. Second row on the left for Essen.
Obviously, Keon and Johnny were kind of going in, we're kind of locking through those spots, but for Destin Hill and especially Winston Knight coming off his injury to be, you know, co-starters, how big is that for both of them? One's a freshman, you know, 2 years off of college, and others coming off a serious injury.
Yeah, I think, you know, Destin came in and went right to work. And Winston has been working all he can since he got here. He just had the unfortunate accident to get his body back prepared. But this last scrimmage, he really showed us some things that he's kind of feeling better and moving better. So I think there's an issue dynamic between the two because they're two good football players. And, you know, so I'm glad we do have that kind of situation, but also depending on what personnel package you start with and things like that, whether you start in a bigger package and things like that. But both of those guys I have trust and believe that go out there and execute at a high level. But that is a fact who, you know, he's a freshman, but not really a freshman. And then you have Winston who's played a lot of football. So just like what you said with the O-line, I like the experience and the age and the ownership and the depth of that position has really been quality.
We'll go to Ira, second row on your right.
Last year going into this game, you guys had to probably make some educated guesses about what their DC was going to do. As a play call. What did you guys learn during that game? How quickly were you able to adjust, and how different is it now having seen a full year?
Well, yeah, it goes back to, man, they still had a whole offseason. So you still always have the element of surprise when it's the first game. I'm pretty sure they got some things that they've changed and tweaked their personnel. They got a couple of new guys. So, you know, you're always going in basically trying to control what you do and having the answers for what shows up. But, you know, so you still always have that. Now, we do have a lot more film on them and things like that, but they got film on us, and everybody adapts in 1 year. So in the first game, it's always pretty similar, you know, so I think it's kind of the same. You know, we're gonna go off. We're gonna put a game plan together of what we believe, but you also got to be ready for the new things they put in, the new looks, and he does a good job. Defense coordinator does a really good job of making you believe you have something, and then having about 2 or 3 unique ways to say where it's really not there because they can change the defense at any time. So, you know, he does a good job, and we got to be prepared for it all and just make sure we're sound in execution of what we're trying to do. And that's what goes back to the experience of not just learning plays, but knowing how to react to what we're trying to accomplish of the concept of the plays.
All right, we'll stay there for Corey.
You obviously knew Keon was good from the film and the production at another school. After watching him for a month, how much better is he than even you thought he was going to be when you've seen him up close now for a month?
Yeah, Keon, the thing that, you know, he's a big personality, outgoing. Everybody, you know, he knows how to, you know, light up a room and things, but the thing that people don't see is his preparation mentally. You know, when we had these night meetings in camp where we do kind of like a football one-on-one. We go through different unique situations in games, we show film. It's like every night in camp we show some type of deal that might happen in the game to educate them on football, and I sit probably about 4 people away from him, and I hear him answering every question that comes up. Even the questions we're not really particularly asking the players, more like a question, hey, what are we gonna do here? And he's answering them immediately. So his studying of the game, I think that's what kind of sets him apart. Yeah, he's a big, athletic, especially talented player, but what allows him to come in and pick up so quickly is that he understands concepts, he knows the game, he understands situations, so you're able to put more on his plate than you normally would with a guy coming in with that less time to prepare.
We'll come front row on the right for Kurt.
What stands out? How do you prepare for a guy like a Harold Perkins, who, I mean, he can do so much. I feel it's not often a linebacker's a guy who takes over a game, but we saw him do that last year as a freshman.
Oh yeah. So, you know, Harold was a guy that throughout the season started to show up for him. We didn't see him a lot game 1 because he was a freshman, but then you saw when they put him out there, his athletic ability to just, you know, to go up and under blocks, to change direction, a lot of quickness. I think, you know, I'm anticipating he's gotten a lot stronger. But he's a guy that we got to be aware of where he is on the field, because he's shown the ability to play linebacker, spy quarterbacks, rush the passer. I mean, a unique ability. I mean, just to kind of be everywhere. He, like back in the day, we say see ball, get ball guy. So he is a talent, and we have to be aware and make sure we understand where he is on the field at all times. He's a good football player.
We'll go back to Ira, second row on your right.
One of the things that I think you said that Dylan really brought to the line was a physicality and edge to him. Do you think enough guys adapted that to carry it on, or what have you seen from this line in terms of that element?
Yeah, it's I didn't say that, but our line, it has to be that. You know, we're not the pretty bunch. You know, we got to go out there, we got to grind it every day, every way. Because that just has to be the mentality of that room, you know. So whether it be a guy that's been here for a while, whether it be a guy we just brought in, whether it be a high school guy developing under the system, you know, we have to be the nucleus of toughness, responding to adversity. That just comes with the culture of that position. And Dylan did a good job of showing them, hey, I've been to another place where that was the establishment of that place, and this is what the formula was for that, or this is the things we had to do. And as a coach, you can say it 10,000 times, but as a player, now it's representative. Now you have Maurice Smith, who showcases that on a daily basis. You have Darius Washington showcase. You got Rob Scott, guys that have been through the fire. You got guys that just understand that tough. Casey Roddick is another guy. He's very similar to Dylan, where he's an older guy, been through a lot. You know, probably played more than Dylan did at the time, but, you know, different kind of program. But he also displays that toughness. He's taking every rep in camp. I mean, he showcases it, not just talks about it. So I believe that, you know, the culture of that room is become that, just overall. And if you're not like that, it's going to be very uncomfortable for you in that room.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Right. Yeah.